US President Donald Trump has intensified his criticism of the now cancelled $21 million voter turnout initiative in India the day after defending the actions of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, his administration's cost-cutting team. He implied that the money might have been used to influence the election in favor of a specific candidate. Donald Trump has indicated that sellouts may have been attempting to elect somebody else. Listen in to the big statement by US President Donald Trump.
And $21 million for voter turnout in India. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? Wow, $21 million. I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Well, we ought to tell the Indian government, because when we hear that Russia spent about $2 in our country, it was a big deal, right? They took some internet ads for $2,000. This is a total breakthrough. $21 million for India elections.
Also being joined by RP Singh from the BJP. Donald Trump has repeated the claim that the BJP first made $21 million, a huge amount, pumped to overturn the government. What do you have to say about this? Sir, please speak to us.
Well, it's a huge amount. I mean, because when you say $20 million, it doesn't sound huge. The fact is, it turned into rupee, 182 crore rupees. So this much of amount, where was it spent? And what sort of voter turnout it was helping with? This is a big question. And then spending that sort of money, was it only for voter turnout or some other objective, or to influence the voters? So this needs to be investigated. And then Trump has rightly said, why shall any other country intervene or interfere into the Indian affairs? Or any electoral process of the India or democratic process of the country, India as a country. So this is very clear that there is something more to it. It's not merely voter turnout. Hopeful that government of India will take cognizance and do the needed investigation. And ensure that every truth comes out. The truth comes out that where was this money spent and how was this money spent for, and what objective this money was spent.
Yes, sir. So, in fact, now the Prime Minister has also asked for Congress to come clean over the claims and allegations of foreign interference into Indian elections. What do you have to say about that also?
Well, we all know there are deep state within the America led by Soros, which was trying to interfere into the Indian democratic process in the last election. And they had otherwise... and then he is on record saying that he will interfere into matters, and then he is anti-Modi, and he is used to doing so. But Bangladesh is a recent example where deep state or individuals in America has played a role in throwing the Sheikh Hasina government.
Right, sir. Thank you very much for speaking to Republic and getting us your insights into the matter. In fact, we're also being joined by Ravindra Sachdeva, who is a geopolitical expert, to speak to us on the matter. So thank you for speaking to Republic. Now that Donald Trump has repeated the BJP's claims of foreign interference into Indian polls, what do you see this as from the geopolitical standpoint?
From a geopolitical standpoint, and let's step back a bit, I think Trump is making a huge mistake for himself and his country. Okay, yes, the money of USAID, the $21 million, I think it was in the budget for this year for USAID, which DOGE identified and is cutting down. So yes, it is foreign interference in India's internal affairs, if that is the objective, right? Though USAID would say in bigger principles of democracy, to strengthen democracy, because America is, the beacon of democracy world over. That's why we do it. But the point is, this is this year's allocation. And I would think that if you go back even last 20 years, we will find that many times such payments would have been made. The point is, this is how America operates. This is how American intelligence, you could say, American soft power, they propagate. So what Trump is doing, by the way, of course, for India, we must investigate, right? How and where this money was supposed to be coming, because I think this was allocated, or maybe it has been given. I'm not very clear on that. And if given, to whom given? Probably it'll be some non-profits in the US, the International Foundation for Electoral Systems. There's some such non-profits in the US who take money from USAID and then they work in India, either themselves or with some local NGOs in India for whatever is the money supposed to be. So that must be identified and tracked for us in this particular instance, right? But secondly, this is how America operates since the last 70 odd years. USAID was set up to promote notionally the idea of democracy in the world and American values. But in the guise of that, they run programs which promote America and America's image, and definitely, yes, and America's political interests. And definitely, yes, in some countries, depending upon wherever they are, the political environment, they infuse anti-government sentiments also. So for all we know, this 21 which was coming into India this year supposedly would have been infused maybe against the ruling government to kind of, somehow put them in a spot in terms, or maybe, influence the elections in terms of voter turnout. So that is very much to be investigated. But once again, I repeat, from the point of view of intelligence, a country's intelligence, Trump is actually compromising himself and his own country. Do we think that now Trump has said, okay, we are not going to give money for voter turnout in India, not in Bangladesh, etc. Do you think that 6 months down the line, the Trump government and American intelligence will not be spending monies to influence and shape opinion in other countries? They will be doing that. So Trump, in a way, has opened the Pandora's box for the world to become aware that this is what America does.